Hi, I'm Kathy Adams Clark, and welcome back to this series of tutorials on Adobe Bridge CS6. In previous lessons, we've learned how to process multiple photos at one time, and I have two images that we worked on in the last lesson. And I'm going to double-click on these and do a very short lesson on white balance. So I'm going to double-click on them, open both of them up in Camera Raw, and when both of them are opened up in Camera Raw, I'm just going to start with this first one up here. Over here we have white balance, and prior to this I haven't gone into too much detail about white balance. I like to leave my white balance on my camera set on auto. Most of the time it does a fabulous job. During night photography, sometimes it does a fabulous job, but not always. There's some times when we need to do a little help with the white balance. And so I'm going to introduce to you white balance tool. See how it's called white balance tool right up here. Cursor now becomes an eyedropper. The objective of white balance tool is to touch something that is nearly white but not pure white, really a little bit lighter than 18% gray. I know from experience that house back there is white, so I've touched on it. And you notice when I do that, the photo gets an overall blue cast to it, but that house is white. So what I'm going to do with my sliders under white balance is I'm going to simply take this slider and I'm going to move it out of the blue range ever so gently, and I'm watching my photo as I'm doing that until I get to something that I like. It's not perfect. Downtown lighting's pretty complex because of lots of different light sources, but I like that. I think that that looks pretty good. I could get a little bit less magenta if I wanted to, or a little bit more green if I wanted to, but for right now I think that it looks pretty good. You get the general idea. I can then click on the second photograph, hold my shift key, click on it, click on my second photograph, click synchronize, and I don't want to do everything to this to the second photo that I did to the first photo, but I do want to do white balance. So let's just simply go in and let's just click all these things off of here, and then we're not going to do anything else but white balance. Now you notice that that's pretty time consuming to do, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it anyway just to show you how synchronize works. So I could unclick all of that and then click on OK, and now second image has exactly the same white balance as first image. Pretty good. Now you notice that first image simply, in this case, had 3350 with a +7. I could have gone to second image right here and then simply typed in 3350 with a +7, and it would have given me exactly the same color temperature. And so the nice thing about either using synchronize or just simply watching these numbers over here is that we can copy information from one image to the other. In this image, let's go over here and turn off those highlight indicators just so that we don't get those little red lights showing up. So we don't get those little red lights showing up. I'm going to click on that house one more time. Way too blue in this one. And so I'm just going to bring those sliders back ever so slightly and watching underneath here as well as back in here. And that's pretty much how I like it. Come on back, let me show you some other things that we can do with these images and continue your understanding of processing images in Camera Raw. So click Done right there, and both images have been processed with their white balance. I'll see you in another lesson. I'm Kathy Adams Clark. Thanks for joining me.